Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to take a bit of a moment um, to do this reading for this former couple, Hyuna and Don. I believe they had been together for a lot of years and had represent a sort of stability of famous couples in K-pop, and so I think that it would be really interesting to do a reading about them to see their energies and the relationship as an overall. Even though it was announced that they had separated, let's see what the cards have to say about this. This is the first time I believe that I'm reading for them. I'm not sure since I do a lot of readings on my channel, but I think that it would be really interesting to see the dynamic here. So from what I remember of their energies, both of them are Gemini sun, and of course Hyuna has a beautiful Leo moon that it does show. I actually sometimes I do think about her as a Leo person. I don't know why, but definitely that Leo moon of hers, we can see it. And when it comes to Dawn, he is a Pisces moon. That also reflects a lot, especially both of them being the same sun sign. They display different characteristics of their energies. So it's really interesting to see them actually having this bond and this relationship that lasted for a while actually. So sometimes romantic stability and fame don't go well together, but in this case, let's see what the cards have to say. So I placed Hyuna on the left and Dawn on the right. So her cards are Ace of Swords, Seven of Cups, and the Tower. So I think that it definitely does make sense that she was the one that announced the breakup, because she got the Ace of Swords. So somehow I do get a lot of air energy here, very Gemini, very. But in her case, it's interesting that she got an ace, because somehow it does show a sort of dominance of language, of communication, of being very assertive and being very clear about what you want to transmit. What actually it does, like, I do get the feeling that probably she had been feeling like this or had made this decision for quite a while now. I think that there was something in the relationship here with this Seven of Cups that somehow lacked a bit of substance. Like, here with the Seven of Cups, it means that this bond, from her perspective, was probably full of illusion, full of um flashing lights, full of it was very ethereal kind of bond, but somehow it was like having sort of a mist around you. This is why in this Seven of Cups you can see that there's mist, there's clouds surrounding these cups. These supposedly are possibilities, but it's on you and your own judgment to choose and to actually experience whether they are real or not. So somehow for her it was like none of these that I had been looking at are real, or at least are not real enough. I think that for her it was a sort of a break inside her persona. I think that somehow for her it was abrupt the way she delivered the news. Like I even think that it was abrupt and a bit aggressive the way she told him that it was over. I think that probably her style was a bit like harsh, like, okay, like I have something to say and I want to break up or something like that. Um, and I think it was abrupt. It was as if she woke up one day and decided that it was over, but actually this you know how we females are when we feel like the relationship is not going where we want to, we tend to be in a sort of period where a few months before we decide, we already know that it's over. And even though we stay in the relationship and we try for a few years and we are patient, there's something disconnected in us, like we our soul is already leaving the bond. We are physically together with that person, but somehow our soul is not there. And I think that for her it was this very strong need to create this tower moment. And I don't think that it's I think that she didn't mean to hurt him in any way, but I think that this is like something that she needed to do for herself. I think that her Leo moon, her Leo energy somehow has been screaming a sort of release. She needed to release something. She needed to break something. Because she is looking for a reconstruction of herself, of her own individuality. So somehow she needs this chaos. She needs this sort of break of everything that she thought she knew, or that she thought that there's something about this about I mean, here with the Seven of Cups, I think that she is a bit disappointed emotionally, because I do believe that I don't know if he promised her things, or if he promised something to her about things getting better or about working things out. And I think that this is why the Seven of Cups is here. Is this sort of atmosphere of like, okay, I wanted to break up before, but somehow you stopped me. You put a stop to me. You fill me with a lot of promises, or with a lot of, I don't know, with a lot of pretty things, pretty actions, romantic gestures, probably, to somehow prevent her from making the decision. And she somehow was broken inside. So I don't know. I think that they lost each other in the bond. She felt like she lost herself in the bond. And now she's waking up to this individual side of her, and she's like, oh, I don't like this. Like, I don't like what I have become, because I don't even know who I am. It seems like she's a bit confused. But nevertheless, with the Ace of Swords here, the first card, is like she's like taking control of this confusion, of this numbness that she had been like submerged into. It's like she's taking control. It's like, okay, I was the one that made this decision. I was the one that cut the cords. I was the one that brought clarity to this very confusive and very. They had a bond that it was very very emotional, but also a bit like, you know a bit avoidant, when you actually sometimes you do know people that are in relationships that they seem to get away from the world once they are in a relationship. They seem to like get lost and be with each other and forget about the rest. I think that this was for her, this um she thought that this relationship would bring her more, but actually it was all very very unstable, because I don't see in all these cards here that I get, I don't see any card that indicates like the construction of something, um, of substance, of something stable. I don't see a stability here. Maybe because both of them are Geminis, so their energy is all about change, and it's all about flexibility, and it's all about unexpected things. But I think that probably we thought that maybe even though they looked pretty unstable, we thought that the relationship was the most stable thing they had, or that we knew of them. And somehow she's like, with this tower here, she's like, no, I'm not feeling stable. I'm not, this is not what I wanted. This is, and I had been in denial, and I had been trying to blind myself from the evidence and try to keep my illusions up, to keep daydreaming. It seems like she was like daydreaming. Somehow she was like um distracted by love, or by the dream, the I don't know why. Is she a Venus in Pisces, or does she have something in Pisces? Because it seems like she was a bit like hypnotized, a bit like on denial, like on the clouds, literally, not seeing the reality, not being grounded at all. But now she's in this position that yes, it's painful, but somehow she's like, okay, so I'm recognizing that I need to break free, that I need to destroy something to be able to create again. It seems like she is like going through a rebirth, a very abrupt one, but she needs it. And in his case, he got this. He got one card of Pentacles that I can say. He got the Six of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords, and the Page of Cups. So I think that definitely he here with the not the Six of Pentacles, the Seven of Pentacles. I think that in his case, he was the most patient out of the two of them. I think that he was the believer in the relationship, the probably the one that was like, okay, if I'm patient enough, if I wait for her, she will get over this. Like she will, like I will stay here by her side, and whenever she wants to come back, I will be waiting. So I don't know if maybe I think that for him probably it's going to take a while to move on. He's going to go through a lot of moments of being a bit erratic in his behavior, like sort of like being quiet and patient, and then here with this Knight of Swords, probably like publishing something online, or I don't know, sending text to her, like trying very aggressively to communicate with her after being a sort of MIA for a while, or after ghosting her probably. But I think that he had made it really clear to her that he will wait, that he still believes that there's like a possibility of something for them in the future. He is a bit in denial, and I think that he is in love because he got the Page of Cups. So he is going to stand there with offering his cup of emotions, because he is a very emotional guy. There's no denying here, but he is erratic at the same time. It seems like he can be a bit passive aggressive, like in the sense that yes, he is romantic, he loves her, but I think that sometimes he he frustrates himself a lot because he's like, what do you want from me? Like, I had been there for you, I had stayed with you. Like doesn't this represent how much I care, or how much he does get triggered? It seems like, this is very, like, actually very Gemini, to somehow switch behavior, like being very passive, and on the next moment being very aggressive somehow, especially verbally. There's something here that I have to say here with the Knights of Swords. He goes through moments of silence, and then all of a sudden he snaps and he starts telling her and communicating very aggressively towards her, because he doesn't know what to do or how to be. I think that this is very Pisces, very Moon in Pisces, he, and very Gemini as well. I think that when it comes to this relationship, he had somehow like shifted himself to whatever she wanted him to be. So somehow he also lacks this stability, like he doesn't know who he is outside the bond. So maybe this is the reason why he will probably be in denial for a while, and will try to make it work, or approach to her, and like from an emotional side, like being like, okay, I will wait for you, like I will, like he is like in this very like devoted kind of side, like, okay, like I will wait for you, like, he does sort of think of her as this sort of soulmate. So he does have this very fantasy kind of very spiritual perception of the bond. So I think that for him it's going to be a bit rough, because he will go from moments of feeling very angry and feeling very sad. So yeah, probably like don't believe what if he's acting like a bit like erratic on online, or if you see him like saying a few things online that doesn't make any sense, or being aggressive, or saying something, like, do not pay attention, because I believe that is he's going to feel a bit heartbroken. So you don't have to pay attention to that, especially if he writes something, like, is his process. And but I definitely see him like waiting for her. I don't think he is still. I think she's already like deconstructing herself. She's already facing the reality, but in his case he's already like in denial. And then the cards that they got, the bond as an overall, they got the Six of Swords, the Five of Wands, and the Eight of Cups. So yeah, I think that there's here there's going to be a bit of a drama here, because somehow a part wants to move on and is already moving on, literally, and probably like moving literally, like moving somewhere, like moving, making some movements to literally like be apart from each other. And I think that somehow also the Six of Swords is not only about traveling, it can also mean like the internet. I think that here the Five of Swords and the Six of Swords, sorry, and the Five of Wands, it means that probably for the internet, or for the people commenting on the internet, they are going to also create more chaos to the situation, because somehow for people moving on is not easy. There's going to be a lot of comments, there's going to be probably a lot of arguments, like opinions coming and going about their personal life, and why they made the decision that they made, and who was to blame, and doing a lot of speculations. And I think that people will be a bit like also a bit frustrated, and I don't know why someone would put their frustrations, or their, I don't know, their opinions on something that it has nothing to do with you. Like, I mean, we respect them and we admire them as artists, and this is what they had given us, their public image. but we do not know what goes like. But I think that people will get also. I think that people also will make it hard for them to actually move on, because then we have like the Eight of Cups. So for them, it's going to be really hard to actually like move on. But I think that there's something here that I think that even though the public is going to be a bit of on denial and is going to sort of fight back the evidence, trying to find like information about if they are still together or not, trying to investigate even and trying to find clues about what's going on. um, I think that there's something here that definitely let us know that this is not about evidence. This is not about like you watching a few clips or a picture of them and being like, oh, this is when it happens, oh, this is them, this picture, this image, this footage is showing me what's going on. I think that this is talking about the how they grew apart emotionally. Like I mentioned, there's cups here, there's cards of cups, but there's also cards of like really walking away emotionally from something that you realize that maybe it wasn't going where you wanted. So I don't know, maybe from Hyuna perspective, that I do feel like she's going through a sort of very strong in very profound transformation. Maybe for her, it's not only saying goodbye to a relationship and finishing a relationship, it's also about her as an individual, reviewing her choices, her past choices, like reviewing herself as a person, as an individual, and being like, okay, who am I outside of this? Who am I? Like what is my desire? What do I want? Like I don't know who I am anymore. There's this, like I said, this Seven of Cups that she got. It's very meaningful, and it's a very strong card that actually indicates that that yes, that she was sort of in a period of feeling confused, feeling even very dizzy, not being able to see reality. So I think that she's going through this tower moment because she needs to break free of the confusion. So and she doesn't blame anyone but herself. This is something very personal. I think that this is not about, the details or the nature of the relationship. It's more about like you thinking about yourself or you looking yourself in the mirror and not recognizing yourself. So this is much deep. It's deeper than what people think. It's not just the ending of the relationship. It's a sort of like, it's a review of yourself and everything that has to do, maybe herself as an artist. I don't know, she's going through something, and I think that in his case he's going to wait for her, I guess. I don't know. He's a believer, he's a very spiritual person. So I think that for him, he will always be open to having a reconciliation or somehow, but he's also very understanding. This is why I think that his energy is a bit confusing to me, because I have this strong Knight of Swords here, coming with the words and being really fast and being very aggressive, and then I have the Page of Cups that is like, okay, no, but I love you, and I'm going to offer my love, and I'm going to be here waiting for you, and I'm going to be patient. So he is a bit like confusing to me, like in the sense that he can go through these mood swings, but in this case I feel like for her it's like it's over, like it's like, and not just the relationship. I think that the relationship is sort of a symbolism of something in her that it's coming to an end. So I don't know what's going on with Hyuna. We should wait to see what her if she wants to share with the public what her view and her opinion about this state in her life is, what is her desire from now on, what does she want to do, if she wants to be left alone or if she wants to come out and talk about it. We will have to wait and wait for her and see, because I definitely see that she probably is the one that has the ideas a bit more clear, and probably is a bit more straightforward than Dawn. That actually, if it comes to, actually, I don't know if I would trust what Dawn would say, because it seems like he changes his mind pretty often. So yes, guys, this is all I have for these two. I hope that it made sense. This is my first time reading for them. So yes, thank you guys for being here, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.